connected. N7KC. that I had some paperwork to do. I'm trying, I have some medical issues here. It's going to take a while to get back to work, unfortunately. So I had a big physical on Thursday. So Wednesday I had a bunch of paperwork that took me more hours to complete than I was expecting it would. But so I missed then. I actually got to listen to part of it just with on my scanner, but didn't get to see anything.
Okay, well, we had a pretty good group. We had Jim down in Rochester. He had his kidney stones, on one side. I think it was maybe the right side, but I'm not sure now. They blasted him, and he was suffering from no effects from that. So I don't know if he'll be here tonight or not. Bob was here and ran the net last week. I was hoping he'd show up tonight. Go ahead.
It's good to hear that Jim was here. I know we were a little bit concerned about him. Kidney stones could definitely be a problem. I had those myself, and it was pretty unpleasant. I had to go through a couple of different procedures to make them go away, and then they didn't really want to go completely away. So the government put me on this 6-year plan, basically. They depending upon what's wrong with you, they put you on a 6-month plan or a 6-year plan, or worse than that. So they had me on a 6-year plan. I had to go for annual special inspections, but it turned out okay. So things get complicated. Sounds like he may have gone through something other than what I did, though.
Yeah, they blasted him with laser, I think it was. They busted it all up, and of course he had a pass him. And he had a, I want to say a stent or something. Anyway, he was going to go back, maybe have it taken out. I don't know. He wasn't doing too good. Listen, hang on a minute. I'm going to see if I can call Bob, K9C2SC.
Okay, standing by, N7QO. N7QO from N7KC.
WW7N listening on 147.280.
Yeah, hi James. I was hoping Gary or this is Ron, KD7CK. I was hoping Gary or Bob would show up to run the net tonight. But I just tried to call Bob. I sent him a text. He has gaming on some nights. So I was just talking to Jim from 720, and I have Lee here. So hang on a second. Go ahead or whatever.
Well, I'll stand by and be a good listener. WU7A.
Yeah, this is N7KC, Port Angeles. I noticed that I'm being streamed right now. So I want to say hi to James, I want to say hi to Jim. And with that, Ron just asked if the stream is okay, and of course it is. So anyway, back to net, N7KC, Port Angeles.
Okay, well this is Ron, KD7QKU, with the Amateur Television Society. That we usually meet at 8 o'clock on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So tonight's the night. Looks like we're having a small turnout tonight. So far, I think there's only 4 of us. Jim was on the top of the list, so go ahead, Jim, N7QO.
N7QO. Thank you, Ron. Well, hi Jim. Hi, Lee. I was chatting with Ron a moment or two earlier. I missed the last net. I had overwhelming paperwork to do. It took me a few hours more to do that than I was expecting, so I missed it because of that. I'm not sure if I missed the previous net or not. It seems like I didn't, but it's possible that I did. Oh, no, you know, I think I was at the last net. I think I actually tried to send some pictures then. But I'm having some problems with that, some issues still. I'm working on everything, but not quite there yet. Well, for right now, I'll pass it back to Ron, KD7QKU and 7QO.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Jim. KD7QKU here. I was going to ask you a question. I guess you're using the Yagi, the team, the Yagi, and do you still have it in your attic? And how many elements is it? Go ahead.
I do. It is in my attic. If you remember, with the old repeater at Cougar Mountain, I always got a color picture in there, and that was with merely my transmitter without a power amplifier attached to it. So now the repeater does not hear me as well, and so I'm having problems getting in there. But it's about a 6-foot long antenna, and I don't know, not a whole lot more. The darn stream keeps dropping off for me here. Not a whole lot more that I'm going to be able to do with that, at least for a little while. And not sure if I'm going to do anything long term. Once again, we're thinking about moving. I just saw something on television about property taxes going up, and I don't know. I think of a friend of ours who moved to Arizona and saved about $4,000 per year on his property taxes. And I know that state does not tax Social Security checks, and sold his house for a profit and got a house for less money than what he wound up getting for his house here. So I don't know. With everything, I may wind up moving, so I'm a little apprehensive about doing something. Anyway, back to you, Ron, N7QO.
Okay, N7QO, KD723. Well, it sounds like you must have about a 10 or 12 element beam. I guess you can't do much better than that. You had a short one. I was going to suggest that maybe we try a longer one. I do have a longer one here that I could let you try. All right, let's go over to James, WW7ATS. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Ron. I'm getting a really nice downlink 1.2 gigahertz tonight with the WW7ATS really clear in the lower right-hand corner, but nothing else really clear. I'm not transmitting a video signal right now. You can go ahead and throw yours back up on if you want, just to avoid dead air. Anyway, I thought I enjoyed the adventure this afternoon. I don't know if you want to tell everybody about that, but that's kind of interesting to me. And so maybe you should tell everybody about that and what we found on the web and what you're going to do there. As far as your idea of putting a Yagi up on a tripod, that's a very good idea. I just kind of ran out of time this afternoon to do that. I don't know how close my 2-meter vertical antenna, my 1.2 gig Yagi, and then the 140, or rather 400 the 77 centimeter Yagi, how close those three things can be. So if anybody has any ideas on that, let me know. So that's my question for the evening. This is WU7N, back to next.
Okay, W7N, you can go ahead and tell everybody if you wanted what we did. I told Lee a little bit about it, but go ahead, James.
Well, Ron found two really excellent pieces of equipment, a AM/FM Kenwood stereo receiver, and so what both of us thought was a amplifier, matching amplifier for that AM/FM stereo receiver. As it turned out, it looks like we were suffering from the missing box syndrome because we could only get very low volume levels out into an 8-ohm load, 8-ohm speaker. And it turns out, when we got on the ever helpful internet and looked up an old owner's manual, that there was a third box, the power amplifier box. And that was the box we were missing, so we went back to the same place and got the other two for such a good deal, but we couldn't find that one. So I don't know if that one got blown out or thrown in the pool. It'll be a mystery forever, whatever happens to the third box to make it all work. I'm trying to talk Ron into building a 2-channel audio amplifier for just from scratch, which isn't hard to build, and then the other 2 boxes would be great. So Ron, go ahead and take it from there.
Okay. WU7NKD728. Yeah. No, I don't think I'm a builder. I'm a buyer. I'm a plug-and-play guy. What do they call it? Utility ham or something. So anyway, I don't think I'll be building anything. I think I'll be trying to take this stuff back if I can. Yeah, it looked like it was in nice condition, but I thought I had an amplifier, but I didn't have something else that said amplifier in the name, but it really wasn't. But it sure was nice of James. I would have called Dave, CYM, but he wasn't available. He's usually my go-to guy on questions like that. He probably even has an amplifier. He has quite a bit of stuff. But it turned out that the equipment would be bigger than what I really wanted, where I wanted to put it, what I wanted to do with it. So I wanted something small. 2 units I had was pretty small. Anyway, it didn't work. So let's see. Let's go over to Lee. Oh, is there anyone else that wants to join us?
WB7BHN.
Well, good evening, Jim. Nice to have you with us. Why don't you go ahead and take it, and then I'll get Lee on in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, not much going on here. I just been sitting here listening to everybody and getting over my kidney stone problem on the one side anyway. I still got a little blood in my urine and stuff, but I got that stent and the string up there, so I don't suppose I'll get rid of all of it till I get that out of there, which is supposed to happen Monday, so I'm looking forward to that. But not much going on here. I've been just sitting around and not doing much all week. I haven't felt like getting up and doing much, but I am getting better and slowly recovering. So we'll turn it back to Ned, WB7BHN.
Thank you, WB7BHN, 87QKU. Well, it makes me cringe when you talk about going to the doctor and having that stent removed, but you have to do what you have to do, I guess. So we'll find out, I guess, maybe Wednesday how you're doing on that. So let's go over to Lee and see what Lee has to say. All right, Lee, M7KC.
Okay, there. I got my stopwatch started. Well, good evening, Rochester Jim. And yes, I'm sure you're anxious to get that darn thing out, and I wish you good luck on that. By golly. Thankfully, I've never had to go through that sort of thing, and I frankly hope I never do. Knock on wood. Well, I was going to say, Canwood makes some nice stuff, but you know, Mike, I have taken, especially when we moved over here to Port Angeles, I had some audio equipment, like brand new. I mean, it's just beautiful stuff. And I had to get rid of it really quick, and so I brought it over here. And, you know, everything sort of came, and then we kind of parsed through it. So I took it down to Goodwill, and I've got manuals taped on it, and I've got all kinds of stuff, you know, cords and all. And I take it in, and I tell them, well, this is really nice, be careful. They pick it up, and they throw it in a bin with a whole bunch of others. You know, and they just keep piling them on like that. And then sometimes you go in the store, and you'll find something that looks like it's in really good shape, you know, and that's kind of a rarity. So to find some Kenwood stuff that really looks nice, and apparently works if you just had the third component. But the amplifiers, I would think that anybody's amplifier would work. I think I'd keep my eyes peeled, and maybe even look on eBay and see if you can find the matching unit or something like that. Let's see, I'm at 1 minute and 40 seconds now. We had a front come through today. We had a strong westerly. It was coming right down the straight, and it was blowing up some real waves. They were dandy white caps, and the trees down on the bluff down here were whipping around and that sort of thing. And we took a walk during that. It's real interesting. Stayed away from any dangerous trees or anything like that. And expecting rain to follow it, but it never did. So I think tomorrow we're supposed to get a good soaking here. Anyway, with that, I'm over 2 minutes and 20 seconds now. I'm going to set it back to net. N7KC, Port Angeles, back to net operator.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Lee. KD72KU here. Is there anyone else that wants to join us? All right, let's go over to Jim, M7QO.
Thank you, Ron, M7QO. Well, Lee, yeah, batten down the hatches. We had some wind over here as well. It was pretty strong out of the south. I don't have an anemometer, so I can't tell you what it was doing, but the windsock was standing straight out for much of the day. So I'm guessing, I don't know, 20 knots or thereabouts, maybe a little better than that for much of the day. But Port Angeles is certainly one of the places that I would like to look at, maybe to move. I see you around waving here. I don't think I timed it out. Anyway, let's see. Bellevue Gym, antenna separation. I tried antennas on a single mast, and that did not work at all. It may work if you got a diplexer. I did not try that. But it worked for me when I had approximately 25 feet of separation. I was able to transmit and receive my transmitted signal as well. So at least that's the way it worked for me. Rochester Gym, let me reset. Boy, stents. Yeah, I had one going up to each kidney. It wasn't painful having them removed, but it seemed to me I stopped bleeding a couple days before they were removed. I feel for you. It's been there. Sorry about that. And Ron, you were saying something about a longer Yagi for 70 centimeters. Do you have one that has like maybe a 10-foot or a 12-foot long boom? Is that what you were talking about? If so, I might be interested in trying that. An alternative might be that I could stack a couple. Let me reset. But if I did that, it would alter my beam width, probably more so than a single antenna, I would guess. Anyway, back to you, Ron, N7QO.
N7QO, KG72KG. No, I don't have. Mine's like a 10 element, probably about 4 foot long. Bill Hoppy had a big one in his basement, and I ended up bringing it home. And Gary has it. K7HYB has it at his house, and he's using it right now. So I don't know if he would loan it to you or not, but so he has it. It's about 16 feet long or something. 10 feet long. I don't know. It's really long. It's 3 sections, and each section it must be 12 feet, because I guess each section must be 4 or 5 foot. So if it's 5, it'd be 15, but it might be 4. But it's a big number, that's for sure. And I was waiting just to say hello, because I thought maybe people were watching us on streaming, so I was going to say hello. So let's see. I guess I'm kind of lost here all of a sudden. I think it goes over to Rochester Gym, WW7ATS.
Yes, WB7BHN. Well, my internet's extremely slow tonight, so I can't see anything on streaming. It's been just sitting there indicating it's buffering the whole time. So there must be a lot of people on the thing on a Saturday like this, because it isn't working worth a darn. And I haven't got to see a single picture tonight, but I guess that's okay. It doesn't make any real difference there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the stints out of me, and hopefully I thought the bleeding would stop too, but it hasn't yet. So, but I've got another couple of days before they take the stent out of there. So maybe it still will quit before they take the stent out. But if it doesn't, maybe it'll stop afterwards. At least I hope it stops sometime or another. It would be better. And I've had quite a bit of pain with mine when I go to the bathroom. Sometimes it hurts and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the kidney hurts like mad when I go to the bathroom, but I don't know what that's from. But next time when they do the other side, I'm going to ask them for some pain pills, and in case I've got to take them a few times, about 3 times I could have used something for the pain. It got severe enough that I was extremely uncomfortable, but the rest of the time it wasn't too bad, and Tylenol was enough to take care of any problems I had with it, so I guess that wasn't too bad. So we'll turn it back to net, WB7BHN.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Jim. I know we're all feeling for you. Let's go to James, WU7N.
Well, this is James, WW7N. Ron, can you give me an audio signal report? Because I'm getting a lot of noise on the receive side today. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you pretty good. You had a little noise a minute ago. How do you hear me?
You're not nearly as strong as you usually are. There's quite a bit of noise there, but you're intelligible. So I guess we'll make do with this. I was just going to say to Rochester Jim, best wishes to you. Heal up quickly. And, you know, you really have to manage your doctors carefully these days because I saw a statistic that opioid overdoses are killing more people than car crashes in Washington State, which is pretty amazing. Actually, I think it's Tylenol or acetaminophen that's killing people because the people that are addicted, of course, take it for the opioid, and a lot of the opioid pills, the most effective ones for pain control, are mixed with acetaminophen. And your liver just can't take more than 4 grams a day, and I think they even lowered that to 3,000 milligrams. So anyway, best of luck to you in managing all that. I think the secret to not ever getting addicted to opioids is to choose your parents carefully. There seems to be a really strong genetic element there. Anyway, that's the best wishes to healing up quickly, and I hope you can get through that Monday and get back to normal. Anyway, thank you very much for the comment on the antenna separation. Yeah, 25 feet certainly should do it, and I would think if it was all in the same tower, the metal of the tower would probably pick up the signal and might move it from one antenna to the next. I've always found that if the antennas are vertically polarized, if you vertically separate them, or if they're horizontally polarized, if you horizontally separate them, that seems to work pretty well. I recall years, this is like in the 1970s, I was with an amateur radio club down in Mississippi, and we were actually going to put up a 10-meter AM repeater, and we didn't have any sort of cavity to work with, so we were just going to put dipole antennas up on different sides of the water tower at different altitudes. I don't know if they ever completed the project or not. I had to move on and go to college, but anyway, it was fun laying it out because some people have actually done some studies, at least on 10 meters, of how far things have to be separated to get so many dB of separation. Well, anyway, that's about it for me this round. This is James, WU7N in Bellevue, Washington, with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Right now, if you're looking on streaming, you can just Google Western Washington Amateur Television Society, and you'll see Ron, KD72KU, who just dropped off my browser. And if you're looking on the internet, the browser you want to probably be using is Chrome. Explorer doesn't work very well. So that's it for me this round. This is WU7N. Back to you, Ron.
Okay, well, thanks very much, James. I switched antennas. Do I sound any better?
Well, I think you sound a little bit better than you did the last transmission.
Okay, I was having, I have this intermod or whatever I have here, and I got switched back. I think I was on this antenna last week. So, I forgot about that antenna separation. My antennas are separated. They're on 2 different pipes, but they are about 10 feet apart, I would say. And I don't think I have any trouble. I've never had them on the same. On the car, when I was mobile, I would have a transmit antenna on the back bumper probably, and I would have the receive antenna as a mag mount on the roof, and so there was only the length of the pickup bed. My pickup set it was dead. So they were only separated by 6 feet, maybe. Sometimes even less than that. Sometimes I had a deal I would put the front tire on, and then I would stick the pipe up. So in that case, if I did that, they were probably 6 feet apart, and it didn't make much difference. Okay, let's find Lee. N7QO, go ahead. N7KC, go ahead.
Okay, N7KC, Port Angeles here. Well, I hope I got a beep that I reset it. Maybe I should undo this and see if, let me listen for a beep. Okay, I guess I can't decide if I'm hearing the beep through Echolink or from Skype. Anyway, no matter. Yeah, Tylenol. James cautioned on Tylenol. I know a lot about Tylenol because of my INR, my warfarin and whatnot. Everything but Tylenol screws it up. So if it comes down to having to get rid of some pain or maybe inflammation, the only thing I can use is Tylenol. And boy, there's been lots of government warnings about taking too much of that stuff. And so, you know, the bottles even to this day say take 1,000 milligrams. Of course, that's 2 grams of this stuff at a time. And I never do that. Or maybe I'm taking 500. I don't know. Anyway, what I do is I stagger. If they say every 4 hours, what I'll do is I'll take one, and then 4 hours later I'll take another one, and so forth. Eventually you'll get enough in your system to do something for you. But I try not to overdo it on my kidneys and or liver. Anyway, Tylenol is kind of dangerous, and a lot of people just they read the bottle and say, "Well, I can take this much," not realizing that some of the medications they're taking already have this stuff in it. So a lot of people go out of bounds by just not knowing. So we're pretty careful with that. And, you know, it's amazing how fast time flies when you're talking. You know, I can see where it's pretty easy for me to overrun a repeater and time it out without a stopwatch here in front of me. I'm assuming that on Echolink you get the same, I think it's 2 minutes as everybody else, but I don't really know. But now Mario, KD6ILO, I guess he's called, Mario down in, he's in San Diego territory. He's going to school at UC San Diego. And he used to be a big ATV gun up in Tacoma. And he thought maybe he might join the net tonight. But he hasn't shown up on Skype. So I think that's probably out. Maybe we'll catch you next Wednesday. I think that's probably about it from over here. I don't have anything to add, and I haven't gotten any video or still photos queued up here. So I think with that, I'll send it back to Net. Let's see, I guess that's Ron, KD7QPU from N7KC, Port Angeles. Go ahead.
KD7AAG. KD7 something AG. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kilo Delta 7 Alpha Golf. Name's Mark. I'm out here in Lakewood area. Yeah, I just want to get back to that guy in Port Angeles. I'm totally amazed. I went over to input, and I got about S7 on you on the input. I don't know what you're running there, but I'm down here in Lakewood area, southwest of Tacoma, in an apartment complex. And I got a little J-pole just on my deck. And I'm just absolutely amazed I can hear you on the input. That's all I wanted to say. Anyway, have a good evening, KD7AAG Lakewood.
KG7AAG. Well, I hate to tell you, but he's coming in on Echolink to the repeater on Echolink, and the repeater's on Cougar Mountain, so he's not transmitting all the way from Port Angeles, but yeah, he's on Echolink. So it works out really good for people that are out of town. And then I have him on Skype, and so then I can transmit his pictures. Just, you know, we do amateur television, so I'm transmitting his pictures. So that's what we're doing. So thank you for joining us. Let's see, I'm lost now. Yeah, I guess it was me, so I've been talking. So let's go back up to the top of the list. I kind of mixed up the list. I'm sorry, guys. But, so let's go to N7QO.
Thank you, Ron. N7QO. Well, it's okay. I'm not sure whose turn it is anyway. Let's see. Rochester Jim. I do have a couple things to mention. I'm not sure. I think it's been several years since I had the kidney stones. They may have had me on Tylenol with codeine for a while, but I think for the most part they had me on hydrocodone, and that seemed to do pretty well. As far as the stents go, it seemed to me I got some explanation afterwards, like at the top edge of the stent up close to the kidneys, there's some irritation there. I remember that I had to sit down almost every time to use the restroom because I was in so much pain that I would keel over. But the plus side is that as soon as the stents were pulled out, that pain was gone. Then again, I stopped bleeding shortly before that as well. So, I don't know. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, Jim. Let's see. Reset. And welcome, Mark. Don't know if you're seeing our pictures or not. Right now, all you're able to see is Ron and Lee there. The other of us are having some problems right now, but well, we're working on it. That's all. That's about all we can say. Back to you, Ron, and 7QO.
Okay, let's go down to Jim in Rochester, WW7ATS. Go ahead.
This is WW7ATS. Well, unfortunately, the only thing that let me take in the way of pain medication is Tylenol due to some of the other medications I'm on for the stroke I had. So I'm pretty well limited to the Tylenol, and I don't take it any more than I have to, just once in a while when it gets extremely painful. So I think I'll be all right there. But unfortunately, the Advil or something like that is a lot more effective. But unfortunately, I can't take that because it interacts with one of the other medications I'm taking, so it won't let me take this stuff. And I'm glad to hear that that the pain went away after you took the stent out, because I've been looking forward to that. It's it's not terrible, just that once in a while it gets bad enough that after I go I gotta take a couple of Tylenol and to help knock the pain down. But it's only been probably about 3 times that it's been that bad. And like I said, next time I'm gonna have them give me some pain pills to take that may be more effective. I told them I would be all right with the Tylenol and didn't need any pain pills. But I probably didn't tell them the right thing. I didn't think I'd have quite this much pain with it, because the stone that was hung up in the tube coming down, I was going to let this thing reset. It was painful, but it wasn't all that bad, and I wasn't taking anything for it. And I didn't realize that when they got done working on me that they'd make things much more painful than it had been for me. So I told them I didn't need the pain medication, so they didn't prescribe any. And it turned out to be a mistake for the looks of things. But who knows, maybe the next time I get the pain pills and I won't need them, because it may not be as painful on the other side when they do it in about a month or so. And I'm really not looking forward to it now after I went through the first side, having so much trouble with it. I'm not looking forward to having to go through it again and do the other side, but I guess it'll all be over with in time, and it's really not worth worrying about it. I think about amateur radio or something fun and forget about it. And another thing, when I got my internet working, I shut it down and booted it back up, and it is catching some of the image stream, and it still buffers now and then, but at least I can see part of the images on them, so things are better. And back to net, WB7BHM.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Jim. This is KD7QKU, I guess was the Western Washington Amateur Television Society now. So, is there anyone else that wants to join us? Okay, let's go over to James, W7M.
Well, once again, best wishes, and you know, when it comes to the wonderful world of medicine, now that I've worked 3 whole months in a pharmacy, I guess I'm a real expert. But I never turn anything down. It never hurts to just store it away in a waterproof bag, lock it up in some locked up area of your house, and sit there until the next time you need it. But anyway, thanks very much for the comments, various ideas on antenna separation tonight. Appreciate that. I'm still in a sort of quasi-indoor portable mode, as I was discussing with Ron this afternoon. Tonight, I've got a multi-element Yagi for 1.24 megahertz downlink, gigahertz downlink. And for some reason, I'm getting a really good picture. I don't know if I move up to the second floor of my house if I'll get an even better picture or not. I'll try that on Wednesday. So anyway, that's what I'm doing tonight. I don't know. Again, it's always puzzling when I get a really good picture direct off the downlink. Why is it coming in so well? Anyway, from the looks of the weather, we're going to have another windy, rainy night tonight. So I guess today's not the day to try and put something up temporary outside. This is James in Bellevue, WW7N. I guess I'll turn it back to Nat.
Okay, well, thank you very much, James. Let's go over to Lee, M7KC.
Okay, this is Lee again, N7KC in Port Angeles. Well, let's see, I made an error in the statement last time I was on. I said I had 1,000 milligram Tylenol. Well, that's wrong. Of course, they're 500. And the other thing I was going to mention was, well, cost of living and taxes. When we moved to Port Angeles from the Seattle area, say buco bucks. Everything seemed to be less expensive here, and generally that is true. But this year, there's a big, in fact, it's February the 13th, there's a special levy here, or a special election for a school levy, which is going to push everybody's property taxes up here $2.78 per 100,000 valuation. And on top of what we already have going, that's a big lift. That's a big number. And I just don't know if the locals around here are going to support that level of property tax increase, because this is not that well-to-do a place. Time will tell here in a little bit, but you know they need to do some. The schools are pretty old, and it's time to do some revamps and all that, get things going again, and I guess there's just no way to avoid it. Now I also hear that the state legislature has put a nice big additional property tax on certain counties. I don't know whether Clallam County is going to be a part of it. So we may get a third hit, and I'm not sure. Well, I'm going to try to check into it this week and just see what's going on and give us some heads up here about what we're going to have to pony up. Anyway, nothing's free, and of course we try to support the schools the very best we can. But there's folks over here that just can't. So I don't know what to do about that. Oh, well, anyway, and Mark, yeah, wouldn't that be something if I had an RF signal in there? I have a 6,000-foot mountain, Mount Angeles, between me and Seattle, so there's simply no chance of me getting a signal in like that over in your neck of the woods. And I guess Ron mentioned that the Echolink receiver is actually on Cougar, and the net's being transmitted from Tiger. So there's an RF link from Cougar to Tiger that has the Echo link information on it, although I would think it would be a UHF link. But anyway, enough of that. This is in Port Angeles. This is in 7KC.
Timeout.
I don't know. All I know is on the 147680 input, I have you on F7 every time you key up. So I don't know how that's getting in there. If it's going through another repeater somewhere or what, but good signal. Anyway, you guys have a good evening. I don't have any video lineups or anything here on Sunday. Looking forward to doing that video links here so I can look at who I'm talking to. It sounds like a lot of fun. Anyway, 73, so good evening. WW7ATS Lakewood.
Okay, Mark. Nice to hear from you again. Yeah, I don't know. This repeater could be linked to some other repeaters, that's for sure. I don't know how many are linked to it. Once upon a time, I think, they went all the way to Fort somehow, but I'm not sure. We had a guy named George, and he was pretty sharp on that stuff. And the guys that are running now are pretty sharp. Let's see, where are we at here? We finished up at Lee, so I guess we're back up at the top again. So this is Ron, KD7QKU, so let's go to Jim, N7QO.
Thank you, Ron, N7QO. Well, let's see. I can't say that I really have anything else. Let's see. Jim, Rochester Jim. I wanted to mention one other thing. What was it? Something about the stents. I don't know. I can say that once again, my pain went away almost immediately once the stent was pulled out. It seems like I probably had a rougher time than you did because mine hurt rather intensely. Not normally, but every time I had to use the restroom, it would buckle me over. So if you're not that bad, that's good. Oh yeah, I remember what I wanted to mention. Reset. Rochester Jim, I have to agree with what Bellevue Jim said. Yeah, if they give you a prescription, I think it's better to have the stuff and not need it, and you can always dispose of it later. I don't know what they have down there in the Rochester area, but the clinic close to my house has a little mailbox in which you can drop unused medicine. So once the things expire, I can deposit them there. And my guess is Bellevue Jim will probably be able to give us an accurate answer regarding the real drop-dead date on that stuff. I would guess that most everything is good for a much longer period of time than merely the expiration date. But anyway, beg them for a prescription and have it filled. It's better to have it and not need it than to wish you had something. You may even be able to put in a phone call, and maybe they could just call in a prescription for you, which you could pick up somewhere close to the house. That's my 2 cents. K7QKU and 7QO.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Jim, N7QO, KD7QKU. Well, we can start making this our 73 round, I guess, if we want to get down kind of to the end of the hour here, and I'm running out of things to talk about. I don't know about you guys. WB7BHN, KD7QKU.
Yeah, this is WB7BHN. Well, I was going to mention something about the Echo link. The way that works is you go to somebody's computer, and then they used to get on with their station and connect to the repeater. We had W7ATS when he lived here in Rochester, had Echolink on the 706 machine. And what you did, you went to his computer at his house and then through his transmitter up to the repeater site. So the received signal that you're hearing on the input is probably from wherever the computer is hooked up to the internet that connects to the Echolink and then connects to a transceiver and sends the signal up to the repeater. Is probably the received signal that the gentleman there, I think it's in Lakewood or wherever he said he was at, is probably hearing is the signal from the Echolink station that connects to the repeater. Because all they do is have a computer that's connected up to a radio and transmits to the repeater. So if you're within range of that, wherever the Echolink connection is actually at, you wouldn't have any trouble receiving it at all, and it would look like his signal was good and strong, but you probably are receiving a signal from a rather close station or something, and that would make all the difference in the world. I'm going to let this thing drop for a minute. And I don't think I'm having anywhere near the pain that the other fellow mentioned when he went to the bathroom. I have some problems with it. Sometimes it really hurts like the dickens, but I can stand up and use the bathroom or sit down, either one. It doesn't seem to make any difference. It hurts about the same either way, and it's not so bad. That it's nothing like the first kidney stones I had anyway. They were extremely painful compared to these last ones. So I'm nowhere near as bad a shape as I was the first time I had them, and I'm actually getting along quite well compared to that anyway. So that's something to be thankful for. And we'll say 73s to everybody, and probably hear you again on Wednesday. WB7BHN, back to net.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Jim. Let's go on over to WU7N. James, go ahead.
Okay, and I appreciate the explanation about the Echolink, because that does make a lot of sense. I read up on Echolink a while back, and I recall there was a cautionary note on the Echolink site that said if you set up your little transceiver at home to work on an Echolink client on your computer at home and then connect that to the internet, to be sure and clear that with control operators of the repeater. So that would make a lot of sense of why the gentleman in Lakewood could hear the input side of the repeater signal so well. Anyway, in regards to the question about expiration dates on drugs, I will refer you to the Ever Helpful Internet, a really good article I read a few months back. Anybody wants, just send me an email. I can send you the link. It actually came out of the federal government stockpiles of medicine and food and all that stuff they have all over the country for natural disasters, the theory being that if we had a big earthquake up here, we would get our help from other parts of the country. And what they came up against is these, they put these stockpiles together pretty much at the same time, so all the drugs and such came up to their expiration date on the same time. And what they really did is they pulled and tested a lot of this stuff, and because they were in a cool, dry place, some of it's even packed with nitrogen, but just mainly isolated from moisture and not getting heated up in some warehouse somewhere. What they found out is drugs they even thought would expire in that period of time or lose effectiveness did not. So I can tell you that the number they write on the bottle of the script from the pharmacy is a totally bizarre number for the expiration date. I won't even babble on about how they come up with that number, but it makes no sense whatsoever. It's very arbitrary. So the secret is do not store your medicines in a medicine cabinet in your bathroom, because that is hot and steamy, and that's death for any kind of reactive chemical. So, I know a lot of people that have little safes or lock boxes around the house somewhere. They medicines in plastic bags inside those safes or lock boxes, and they keep forever. So anyway, that's it for me. 73s, everybody. This is James from WW7ATS. Really enjoyed the net tonight. Back to net control.
Okay, well, thank you very much, James. Appreciate that. It seems like when I was working at Group Health, they would send a lot of their medicine that I think was almost past due date. They sent it to the, African nations or foreign countries or something. And I think the missionaries or somebody was over there. So let's go up to the top of the list and get Jim again, M7QO.
Connected, N7KC.
Okay. Guess the Morse code's all done now. Thank you, Ron, N7QO. Well, thanks for that information, Jim. And Lee, I want to thank you for the information there regarding the taxes up there in Port Angeles and the pending tax increases. It seems to me that we're going to experience that statewide. I seem to remember that the state legislature passed something recently which said that all educational systems must be, quote, fully funded, whatever that means. And the consequence is that some of the taxes are going to go up, even though we did not necessarily vote directly on the taxes to go up, something along those lines. So I'm expecting a major hit here in King County. We'll see what happens when I get my property tax bill. I think it usually shows up in March or something like that. But thanks for the info. And I guess the witching hour is here. So I'll say good night, everyone. Thank you for participating. Hope to catch you next time. Good night, Ron. Good night, and back to you, Ron, N7QO.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Let's go to N7KC, please.
Oh, okay. Well, this is N7KC, Lee, over in Port Angeles again. Okay, well, good night tonight. I enjoyed hearing from all of you, and we'll keep her short here and send it back to 73's guys, and we'll see you down the pike. N7KC, PA.
Okay, well, thank you to everyone. This is KD7QKU, 73s, and we'll see you on Wednesday night. So, the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net will conclude for the night and return to repeater to normal operations. So, KD7QKU is there. Bye-bye.
N7KC disconnected.
Well, thank you for letting me eavesdrop on you guys tonight. 73 is from Mark County here in Lakewood. KD7AHE.